Hey everybody, welcome to All the Dog Things. I'm Megan, and today we are talking about canine socialization and body language. This is a topic that tends to have a lot of myths surrounding it as far as what is considered socialization. So stick with me, and today we're going to learn all about socialization. So, what socialization is not, first and foremost? It's not just contact with other dogs. It's not just contact with the environment or people. It's not just group play, and it's not just exposure. A common thought is that, oh, I have a new dog. I'm going to put them into doggy daycare so they can get socialized. Or I'm going to put them in to the dog park so they can be socialized. Or I'm going to have everybody that we encounter on a walk pet them so they can be socialized. That is not the proper definition of socialization. Those things can fall under socialization, but they are not the best way to do effective socialization. What is socialization? Socialization comes down to letting your dog experience and interact with many different things in the environment, but in a way that is safe. And when I say in a way that is safe, this means safe for the dog by their terms of safe. Not because we think that it's safe. They need to think that it's safe. If your dog is playing with other dogs and they're hiding behind you, or their body posture is indicating that they're not comfortable, don't force them into the situation. Keep them away at a distance where they're comfortable, where the other dogs can't approach them, and let them watch. Reward them for watching. Reward them for being in that environment and seeing what's going on. If we just throw them into that situation and say, it's safe, go play, why are you so worried? We're going to start developing even more fear in those situations. I can't trust mom or dad because they're putting me into this situation and I'm terrified. Or you'll start getting a dog that feels like it has to act out because it's not being heard. So you might see it start reacting to those dogs that are approaching it because it couldn't get away when it really mattered. So the animal should have the control over whether or not they feel comfortable in the situation. This goes for interactions with people, interactions with dogs, interactions with noises, textures, everything. And make sure that they're enjoying the interaction. If they're running away and you're constantly bringing them back because you feel they need to be socialized and they're going to do it because they're being stubborn and it's clearly, nothing to be afraid of, that's not what we're looking for here. Your dog doesn't know that they shouldn't be afraid of it, especially when they're encountering things for the first time. Socialization checklist. There's a lot of things that go into exposing a dog to new environments, new things in their world. When you bring a puppy home and they're experiencing the world for the first time, you want to come up with a list, and there's lists out there in different books, such as Puppies Start Right, or doing a Google search, going to clickertraining.com and typing it in there. You can find socialization checklists pretty easily. but start thinking about what are the things that my dog is going to encounter in their lifetime. Not just in their average day-to-day, but what might they encounter throughout their life. And then you want to start creating ways for them to experience those things in a way that is fun and safe by their standards. So some things that might be included in a socialization checklist: hats, jackets, different types of people, short, tall, men, women, children, different ethnicities, different styles of voice, deep talking, high talking, different noises. So ambulance sounds, cars, motorcycles, trains, thunderstorms, fireworks, dogs barking, things like that. And there are a lot of noisemaker apps for puppies that you can download or use YouTube to get some of those noises. And other things are surface textures. You might have a carpeted house, or you might have a hardwood floor house. If that's all that your dog experiences, they're going to be a little caught off guard when they experience tile for the first time, or experience something outside of that. So get them used to different surface textures. Get some sandpaper, some yoga mats, some carpet squares, some tile squares. Take them to places with different types of flooring, and when they interact with that flooring, reward it heavily, but give them the time to explore it, give them the time to seek it out and gain an understanding of what it is, not just dragging them through it. Don't take them to the pet store and just drag them down the tile and say, oh, you got to get used to this type of thing. Other animals is another one, and this is one that a lot of times we are prone to just putting our dogs into that situation. There is nothing wrong with keeping your dog at a distance and rewarding them for looking at other types of animals, whether it's other dogs or cats or horses or sheep or rabbits. They can stay back and watch, and that can still be effective socialization. Reinforce them for being around those things, even if they're at a distance. Handling is another one. Having them getting used to being touched, having them get used to their ears played with, their feet touched, their mouth opened. Think of the things that might happen during a vet visit or nail trims, or if they get some sort of infection. You can check out my husbandry video that I'll put in the card up here and see some examples of that. But make it positive. Don't just have anyone and everyone come up and pet your dog. Do little bits, make it fun. When you are going to touch them, make sure they're not shying away. And if they are, then start further back and then work up to being able to touch their ear or their foot, and make it a very rewarding experience. Another one is going different places. Travel can be kind of scary for some dogs. Some dogs really dislike car rides. Some dogs dislike being in an unfamiliar place. So start off with just sitting in the car and making that really pay off and be really fun. Then start just, a short drive down to the end of the road and making that really rewarding. Then, start driving to places and do things in those places that are fun. So that way, not every time they get in the car and go on a trip, they're going to the vet. Especially as puppies, when they are going to the vet, very often it's really easy to get into their heads that, oh, we're getting in the car, we're going to the vet again. So make sure that you're making these things really fun for them. Impact of socialization. So dogs who do not have complete or good solid socialization can show shyness, can show various forms of aggression, whether that's barking, lunging, biting, type of behavior, or anxiety and fear. They might express their anxiety through destructive methods. They might show it through trying to pull away, trying to run away, hiding, that sort of thing. And sometimes that can also look like some of the signs of aggression. So pay attention to what your dog is telling you. Dogs communicate with us through body language. Dogs communicate with other dogs and animals through body language. They can't speak to us in English, so we need to learn their language. There's this graphic here on the screen by Lily Chin that shows some examples of the way that dogs communicate through body language. You can actually go to her website that's on there, Doggy Drawings, and she has some free posters that you can take a look at that have a bunch of different examples of body language laid out there. But stressed can look differently. There can be a lip lick where the tongue comes straight out and back in. There can be yawning, scratching, shake-offs, sniffing, especially sniffing things that maybe have been in the environment all along, if it's something that's happening at home. The whale eye that you see on the bottom left there under needing space, that's where you see the whites of their eyelids. That's a very good indicator that they do not want to be approached. So keep these things in mind, and if you're seeing these, your dog is not in the most comfortable situation. So get a little bit of distance. They can feel a little bit more relaxed and reinforce their behavior at that point. So that's just my brief overview of socialization and body language. Check out, dive in, learn more. Check out clickertraining.com. There's plenty of articles there on socialization and how to socialize your dog well. Work with a good positive reinforcement trainer who knows how to socialize dogs well, who will be looking out for signs that dogs are not comfortable, who takes care in determining if dogs are ready to be in an environment to have group play or not. Someone that takes their time and is aware of the impact of socialization. We want to be creating confident and happy dogs and confident and happy families. So don't neglect socialization. Make sure that you are really diving into it and reading your dog, getting to know your dog, and setting them up for success. I will say, put a little caveat in here that socialization does not override genetics. Some dogs are just genetically predisposed to having some of those anxiety or fear related issues, but good socialization is still an important part and can help with a lot of that. If you do have a dog who is showing a lot of those signs of fear, find a good positive reinforcement trainer who is experienced with counter conditioning and desensitization in relation to fear, and put in the time to work through programs that are for those types of behaviors. Training is an everyday thing. Your dog is learning about the environment every moment that they are alive. So make sure that you're catching opportunities to reinforce them for things going on in the environment, and make sure that you are committing to a lifestyle of training and a lifestyle of cooperation and communication with your dog. What are some things that you guys have found that has worked really well for socialization? What is your tricks for exploring new surfaces or keeping play sessions safe and fun for your dog? Drop that down in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to my channel for more.